Go live. Hello everyone, I hope you're all well. Let me just check if the technology is working, because I know there's a slight delay between the platform I'm using to stream this and Facebook. So yes, we are live, amazing. So let me just, yes, it's all working, amazing. Okay, so let me tag everyone to this so people can find us. Amazing. So, first of all, welcome everybody to this program. Let me just do this like this so I can see. Okay, brilliant. Let me just set it all up. And then we get started. For people who are hopping on live, please say hi. Tell me where you guys from. How are you feeling today? Are you guys excited? I hope you are as excited as I am. If you're watching us on the replay, please put hashtag replay so I know that you're watching as well. Okay, so let me check if I'm seeing comments, because that's always a good sign as well. Because if you have any questions at the end of this at the end of this live training, I'll be opening the floor for questions. So please wait with your questions then. But today it's going to be very, very interactive. So I will be doing lots of different things, lots of different practices. So it's important for me to see your comments. So please put comments so I can see hello, I can see comments, amazing, they're coming through. I know there's a delay, so I always have to wait a little bit longer for comments. So we've got Karen, hi from Scotland, excited to learn, amazing. We've got Amy, hello, excited to be seeing you, listening to you, amazing. Remember guys, today I've planned for a lot. So I know I've said to people that every day we'll meet for about an hour, but it might take a little bit longer. Today especially, I've got lots and lots to share. So I never hold back, I always share whatever I can. So if you run out of time and you have to log out, that's fine. Remember, you can always watch this on replay as well. There'll be a lot of information to digest, so you can always go back and, rewind, learn, take notes, and so yeah, so you all good. Lucy, hello everyone. I'm so happy to see you all. Okay, let's get started. So I am so excited that you're joining me for our 4-day course. Okay, so today is day 1. Every day we'll be meeting at 10 o'clock UK time for more and more training. So the course today the 4-day course is really to help me connect you to your purpose and connect you to who you truly are. Really discover your zone of genius, something unique. It's like a unique ability that only you possess. And then I'll help you turn it into a product, a service, or offer that is absolutely new to the market, revolutionary, because as I say, it's only you possess that ability. And once we change it into a product or a service, you have to realize that this will be something that will change people's lives. And this is the key to your success, to your impact, and to creating something life-changing for your clients. This is massive. And then day 4, we'll be talking all about how you can then take this product to market, I'll be sharing with you a proven business strategy that can really help you attract clients, have bigger reach, have bigger impact. It's all about creating a business strategy that can give you rinse and repeat process, so that you know that every time I fancy working with people, I'm doing all the steps, and I know I will have predictable income. And what's even more important, I'll be sharing with you how you can align this business strategy to you so that it really feels fun, excited, is authentic to you, and it's aligned with who you truly are. So I'll be taking you from having no business whatsoever all the way to creating a successful business in those 4 days, right? So it's really, really, really special. Obviously, everything I'm teaching you, I've done it myself. I've done it with my clients. I've been in this business for 7 years. So it's definitely proven, okay? Anna, hello. Alexandra, good to see you guys. Oh, I'm so excited. I need to calm down, okay? So But today, what we'll be focusing on today is we'll be focusing on energetics of success. So energetics of success are responsible for 95% of your success. So typically when we're starting a business, a lot of people straight away think about, okay, how am I going to attract clients? Let's focus on business strategy. Let me learn about marketing. What are the things I actually physically have to do to attract clients? But that's only 5% of your success. Doing things in your business, like a physical tasks, business strategy, marketing, that is only responsible for 5% of your success. It's important to have business strategy. It's even more important to have business strategy that aligns with you. But people miss out on the 95% of success. And that's why a lot of people, especially in an online world, struggle. And I don't know if you can resonate with this. Franny, Junita, hello, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you so much for joining me live. I know it's awkward hour, first thing in the morning, but here we go. So tell me if you resonate with this, especially for those of you who've already started your business and you've been trying to attract clients. Do you sometimes find yourself that you're doing all the right things, all the marketing stuff that is correct, but you still struggle to attract clients consistently? That's because you're missing out on the 95% of what's responsible for your success. And that's exactly what I'll be teaching you today. This was absolutely life-changing for me because I went from struggling to attract clients, being burnt out and stressed about running my business in the first year of my business, to then hitting 100K in just 6 months, when I became a mom for the first time, when I was working 1 to 3 hours a day, and everything, all this success and financial income came from place of love and connection and flow and ease and true alignment. So I realized that I started tapping into something that is so important and so unknown to other people. So this has been absolutely life-changing for me, and that's why I'm so passionate about teaching about it, because I know that we are made to create success in the way that we're designed to do, from a place of ease and flow, by being ourselves, by expressing who we truly are, not from a place of stress, hustling, working hard. That's really old-fashioned way of doing business. And, my approach to business is very different. I am a business coach, but I'm not your typical business coach, okay? I go against the whole old way of doing business, old programming and conditioning that tells you you have competition, you have to beat your competition, you need to work hard, the more results you want, the harder you need to work. Like, this is really old way of working. This is not how I roll, and I know we're not meant to be working on this unless you want to experience burnout and stress and difficulty in business. I'm all about creating success from a place of flow and ease. That's why my approach is so revolutionary, and I'll be sharing with you my approach throughout these 4 days, so you'll learn for yourself. And before I even tell you more about my approach, and I'll share my story with you, I want to talk about a few things before we properly get started. Karen, yes, feeling stuck, unable to attract clients. Okay, you're definitely in the right place, Karen, so I'm so excited for you. So, house rules, okay? So, every day I'll be giving you a homework to complete after training. Please complete the homework. It's all about engagement. I know that when people think about freebies, our psychology, human psychology is like, oh, something's for free, I'm not going to value it. It's free. What's the point? Probably there's nothing there. And I know a lot of people have bad experiences with freebies when they think they promise so much about, you're going to learn this and this and this, and they come to the freebie and it's pitch. And I'm not doing that, okay? As you know, I do business in a very different way. For me, it's all about service. For me, it's all about connection and changing people's lives, okay? And that's why I've started this business in the first place. So I've run this freebie, similar freebies before, and people who have joined my freebies, they always say one main thing, that it has been life-changing, that it's so much value that they had to replay over and over again. And people who have actually listened and implemented what I'm teaching them had life-changing results. People connected to their purpose, people started attracting clients, I had a person who didn't attract clients for 3 years, and then he changed business strategy following my advice, and he got his first client for £1,000 by the end of the 4th day of our freebie. Like, you know, people have had amazing, beautiful results, but I need you to engage. The more you engage, the more you participate, the more you implement these teachings in your own life, the more results you have. So really treat this freebie as if you've paid me for it thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds. Unfortunately, that's our psychology, right? Our psychology is always like, the more I invest, the more I'll be involved. I know this is free, so please treat it as if like you've paid millions of pounds, okay? Because you will show up more, and as a result, you will have bigger results in your own life, okay? I also have price for the highest participant because I want to encourage people to participate. So the person who participates the most in the 4-day course will receive a one-to-one call with me worth £350, where I'll dive into your own personal life and business situation. I'll give you my personal advice as to step by step what you need to be doing in order to attract clients and build beautiful, successful, purpose-led business. There'll be also some channeled guidance for you. So yeah, it's gonna be beautiful. Remember that across those 4 days, I'll be also giving you free advice, free coaching, free mentoring inside this group. So if you have any questions following the teachings, just comment or post it in a Facebook group, and I'll be replying to you. Okay. So you're in for a massive treat. I can't wait to get to know you more. It's not only about me teaching you, but I want to learn so much about you so I can help you in the best way possible, okay? I have my notes on this side, so please forgive me if I'm looking away. I just want to make sure that I don't miss anything, okay? So let me introduce myself. Okay, and tell me if you resonate with any parts of my story, because I know a lot of people join this freebie without even knowing me, which is amazing. Well done for being brave. And so I wanted to tell you a little bit about why you should even listen to me. Who am I? How did I get here? How did I develop my approach? How it all happened. So I've been in business for 7 years. So my journey started 7 years ago when I was in my 9-to-5 job. My role, I was in a HR role, and I found myself that my HR role was completely and utterly against my identity. It was so out of alignment with myself. I had to pretend to be someone else every single day at work. And when you work 8 hours a day and you pretend to be someone else, you completely lose sense of who you truly are. And the biggest moment, my first awakening, you might call it, was when I actually struggled with mental health illness. So I was diagnosed with depression, clinical depression, anxiety, identity crisis, and I also experienced only one panic attack, which was the crucial point for me to start understanding, like, hang on, what is happening in my life? I thought I had it all, on paper, I had everything I've ever wanted. And, I've built this life by myself. So why do I feel so deeply unfulfilled? How do I feel like, why am I experiencing mental health illness? Why am I so depressed and unhappy when this is the life I've created? Like, what is going on? I ended up being signed off for work-related stress 3 times in a year. Every time I got better, I went back to the office, everything would come back. So I ended up being off sick actually more time than I was actually working. I was going to therapy as well. That wasn't really helping me. And then one day it dawned on me. I sat in my office. Janita, I have just resigned because my work gave me mental health breakdowns. Oh, well done. I know this is scary, right? Because that's exactly where I'm going to. But you've done an amazing thing, because your health, mental health or physical health, you are the most important person. So you need to cut things that make you miserable, And I remember one day it just dawned on me, like, this is not the life that I want, it was a beautiful sunny day. I used to work in London Bridge, which is in London, UK. Very, very touristic, vibrant place. It was sunny in the morning, and all I wanted to do was go for a walk, and I had to be stuck in the office. I would see like through a small window, some sun, and I thought, this is it. Like, my soul was craving for impact. My soul was craving to help people. I've always had this feeling that I'm meant for more. That's why everything in my business is meant for more, meant for more, meant for more, because we are meant for more. And I thought, no, I want freedom. I don't want to ask my boss if I can go for a walk. Like, how crazy is this? You're at work for 8 hours and you're stuck for 8 hours. You can't do anything. And this is meant to be your life. I was like, no, I'm out of here. But the problem was that because I was so disconnected from myself, I knew what I didn't want. I didn't want this life that I've built, but what did I want? That was the main problem that I couldn't really answer. So I went on a quest. I started being obsessed with connecting to your purpose. I've learned, through psychology, philosophy, spirituality, I was obsessed. How does one know what their purpose was? And I started, everything I was learning, I was implementing in my life, and I finally connected to my purpose. My purpose has always been to connect other people to their purpose and turn it into thriving business. Why is that so important to me? Because I know for a fact that you have specific purpose that you need to fulfill on this earth. And you already have everything inside you to fulfill that purpose. And that purpose will create a beautiful impact in the world that's actually needed. So you are needed right now. And if you are not fulfilling your purpose, you're not only not fulfilling your full potential, but you're not creating the impact that is so needed for the people who are waiting for you. And that's the key. Fulfilling your purpose is the key. It's the absolute key to your success, to your fulfillment, to feeling good about yourself. So I truly believe that if everybody knew their purpose and everybody was fulfilling their purpose, this world will be a completely different place. Not only people will be happier, but there will be beautiful things happening in the world as a result of us fulfilling our purpose. Does that make sense? So I decided to get qualified as a coach. And then we hired one girl. I became really friendly with that girl, and she gave me the book of The Law of Attraction, Abraham Hicks. And that completely changed my perspective. I went from being an atheist, very into science. I studied psychology. I have a degree in psychology, which was a very scientifically based I studied very scientifically based approach to psychology, so everything had to be proven with mathematics, statistics. I was very into that sort of mindset. And all of a sudden, when she gave me that book, I was like, oh my God, this is me. I love this. And I really started getting more into spirituality. I started seeing angel numbers everywhere, and then things started happening super, super quickly for me. Within 3 months, I quit my job and started my business, okay? And I was so naive thinking that, okay, this is my purpose. I'm just going to show up online. I'm going to share with people what I can change for them. And then I'm going to be successful. Like, people will come to me, right? And 2 months in my business were really, really hard because I was learning so much. I was following other people, like coaches, other coaches. I was joining in, I think I must have joined seriously tens and tens of freebies, and whatever they were teaching me I was implementing, and nothing, no matter what I was doing in my business, nobody would listen to me. I felt so invisible, and I had so much passion for it and no clients, so at the end of 2 months my savings started to run out, and I thought, well, I have to go back to 9 to 5. Like, what else can I do? And I thought, no, that would be a death sentence. Going back to 9 to 5, it would be a death sentence. Oh, and I forgot to mention as well, the minute I connected to my purpose, my depression disappeared. My anxiety disappeared. So obviously, if you are on antidepressants or whatever, don't drop them because of my story. But, that's what I've realized. I was in therapy for 7 months or 6 months, and nothing was really helping me. But the minute I connected to myself, to my purpose, everything shifted. And you will know from today's training why that happened as well. So, yes, so 2 months of my business, very, very bad. I was working, nothing happened. And then I hired a business coach who helped me she taught me the skill of attracting people online and through social media. And in the first month of implementing everything she taught me, I got my first 10K month. And for me, I was like, amazing. So that was the missing piece. I just needed to just learn a skill. It's a skill you need to learn how to use social media to attract clients, right? So I was learning lots of strategies. I was implementing lots of strategies, and it seemed to be working. I was at least attracting clients. I was getting paid for what I love doing. But at that time, the first year of my business was, it was very, very tough, because what I didn't realize back then, and I know now, is that the business strategy I was using was completely out of alignment with myself. In the first year of my business, I was still in a very much employee mindset. I was still working under the old paradigm and conditioning that you need to work hard. The more you work, the more money you make, the more success you make. I was working 10 hours a day, Monday to Sunday. I didn't have a day off. I was absolutely in fear mode that if I don't work, I'm not going to success. I'm not going to succeed. I'm not going to attract clients. I was petrified. And to be honest, I felt more trapped in my business than when I was working my 9-to-5 job, okay? So by the end of the first year, I made only 30K because I was launching. Every time I launched, I made 10K, and then I needed to recover. I was so exhausted. I was burnt out. So by the end of the first year, I made 30K, and that was my goal. I wanted to replace my salary. So for me, in my eyes, I was successful, but I was burnt out, I was stressed, and I wanted to give up my business because I thought that's not the life I want. This is hard. This is so hard. So say third year of my business, I became a mum. And the second year of my business, I became a mum. And that changed everything for me. And this is where my biggest breakthrough happened. And this is what I'll be teaching you about this today, about the 95% of success. So in that year, when I became a mom, I had to really have a proper chat with myself. And I decided at that time that my life will look very different. I started focusing on really what mattered to me. What do I value? How do I want my ideal lifestyle to look like? I wanted to be a full-time mom. I wanted to still do my business because that's my purpose. I wanted to create impact, but it had to work around me. It had to work around my family. It had to fit around my son. And I wanted to create success from a place of ease and flow. I wanted to enjoy my business. I wanted to have fun. Life is all about enjoyment. If you're not happy, what is the point of living? Your purpose, first and foremost, is to be happy. And so I've completely changed. I've decided, and that time it was all about six figures, how to become a six-figure earner. I was like, you know what? I want to become a six-figure earner. So I started thinking about, who do I want to become? What sort of lifestyle do I want? And I didn't want to compromise. I said to myself, I'm not doing anything that doesn't get me to where I want to be. If something causes me stress, anxiety, or it's something that I don't enjoy in my business, I'm not doing it. So from doing 10 things in my business, I streamlined my business strategy. I let go of all the business strategies that I've been told I had to do to be successful, such as cold calling, cold messaging, posting everywhere on social media, trying to start conversations, trying to sell to everybody. It was exhausting. So then I decided, you know what? I love to teach. I love to create freebies. I want to share my knowledge. So I've created a freebie, and I thought to myself, what's the best way for me that is fun, that is aligned for me to promote that freebie? So I've joined Facebook groups where promotion was acceptable and encouraged. And all I said was, I created a tiny post, one sentence, freebie or free 3-day course or whatever it was, and connect to your purpose, turn it into thriving business. Want in? And lots of people started arriving. And I think I was promoting for 2-3 weeks. I had 700 people who joined my freebie. And I was like, this is quite easy, But not only I changed my business strategy, so that's the only thing I was doing. I was doing that maybe 10 minutes a day. promoting. But I also worked on my energy. You know, I let go the old conditioning that you have to work hard to make money. I started embodying the person that I wanted to become, that I was becoming. And I hit 100K in just 6 months. In fact, from that freebie alone, in 1 month, I hit 50K, and then another 50K. It took me 5 months to hit another 50K. But I was blown away. How was I able to do this? Working, 1 to 3 hours a day. I was resting a lot. And my husband was like, are you kidding me? All I can see is you sleep. Like, how you make money whilst you sleep. And I'll tell you why that actually helped me create money when I get into today's training, right? So I knew at that time that I had something really, really special and I needed to help people. And that's when I started combining business strategy with energy work, with spirituality, spiritual practices, with shifting your energy, shifting your identity, embodiment. And that's when my clients started having amazing quick results. Like, in 3 months, they went from having no business to then 10K months, 25K months, right? And my business sort of carried on like this for the next 3 years. So now I'm at a fifth year of my business. And then I had my second baby Joy, and at that point I was only working 1 hour a day. So nobody told me that having 2 children is very, very different to having 1 child, okay? So when the second baby came, I felt like tons of bricks just hit me. So I needed time to really adjust to being mom to 2 children. And at that point I was working 1 hour a day, and my business was working pretty much on autopilot. I've changed my offers. I still worked with clients, having sessions and working one-on-one, but I really let go of a lot of clients, and I started having more online courses, passive income, and my business pretty much ran on autopilot because that's what I needed at that time. And then the last year of my business, so then for those 5 years, my business was growing with very little hardship. Everything just seemed to be flowing. Whatever I wanted to manifest just manifested. I was like, oh my god, life is easy, life is beautiful, this is amazing. And then the following year, my life just went upside down. Okay. Before that happened, I told my husband, I said, listen, my business is doing really, really well. Why don't you quit your job and you do something that you love? Okay. And he said, yeah, I'm in. Like, absolutely. We bought our dream house because that was my goal. We wanted to live in a safer area with better schools, even though I'm not really into school systems, but here you go. And then, so I always knew that the minute we get our dream house, my next step would be, let's go big with my business, because I knew that I was playing small in my business and I needed to do that because my focus was on growing my family, and the business was making 6 figures every year. So I was feeling really, really fulfilled. I was helping people. I was having financial freedom. I was spending time with my family. Like, my life was very, very balanced, but I knew deep down that that's really not my purpose. My purpose is to create even bigger global impact. I've created a revolutionary approach that I think everybody needs to know. So, hi Mia, joining from Chicago. Amazing. So I knew that all these years I was playing small, but it's because of my children. I would never sacrifice any time with them. So when my husband quit his job, when we moved into this house, I had this feeling like this is the time now for me to go big. So I declared to the universe, I was like, bring it on. I'm ready for 7 figures. I'm ready for everybody to know my approach. Like, let's go big. Let's do this, baby. And I thought that it would be like a lovely journey. Like, you're ready, let's do this. But it wasn't, okay? All of a sudden, I stopped resonating with my business. I felt so misaligned with my business that I couldn't show up. And for those of you who know me, you know that if I don't feel something, if I don't feel passionate about something, I will never show up because I need to be authentic. So it scared me because I was like, what was my purpose then? So I went through a second spiritual awakening, and the first spiritual awakening was hard, but this was something else, okay? Because I started questioning who I was again, my purpose. Well, I'm doing my purpose. If I don't feel aligned with it, what is my purpose? Am I letting go of my purpose? But from my teaching saying, no, like you have purpose and that's it, you know? So I was super confused. And so my guidance was step away from the business completely, step away. But then obviously the fear started kicking in. How can I step away from my business when my business is providing? You know, my husband's not working right now. He's not bringing any income. We rely on my business. But my guidance was very clear, step away. So I did step away. I stopped showing up. I was only sharing my journey, what I was going through, because I thought that was very, very important for people to see behind the scenes, like how difficult life can be, especially that I hadn't really experienced that previously in my business. Things were really easy before. So so it was a very, very difficult few months where I really went deep into healing, really into understanding. You know, it was massive death and rebirth, you know, really letting go of my old self, of what I've created with my business, and starting from scratch almost. It felt like that. My body felt really, really exhausted, so I couldn't really work anyway because of the exhaustion. I was so shocked. I was so surprised that this is happening to me, you know. But I had this trust and inner knowing that I had to do it. The only thing that would help me was go to the forest and just surrender and connect to nature and be like, you know, everything will be fine. It's all good. You know, luckily my business was still making money from previous clients, so we had some income coming, but it was nowhere near to what we were used to. And then my dad got ill. He had a heart attack followed by bypass surgery. So I had to drop everything, go to London. We don't live far from London, only an hour from London, but the hospital was on the other side of London. So it would take me around 3 hours door to door to go to see him. So I was spending a lot of time with my dad. My kids both got ill the same time, that time. And nothing serious, but you know, like coughs and colds and chicken pox. And I was like, what is happening? What is happening to my life? My life was pretty much perfect. Like everything started falling apart, you know? And I remember one day at the train station, I was waiting to get on the train to London to see my dad. And I started just journaling. I was like, who am I? Like, what is going on? And then all of a sudden, I unlocked my spiritual gifts. I started channeling. So that's the moment where I actually connected to 5D consciousness and abundance consciousness. And abundance consciousness was very clear to me. They said the 3D way of doing marketing, the traditional way of doing marketing in business is going to collapse. You know, the world is shifting. People are becoming more and more conscious. People do not resonate with the marketing that we all used to, you know, that is really rooted in consumerism, fear, money. It's all about like just pushing products down people's throat. There's no connection. There's no human element to business anymore. Does anybody feel that, by the way? So 5D consciousness was explaining to me, like, this is not the way to move forward in, like, you know, things will start falling apart for businesses as well, because we are shifting how business is gonna work or how it has to happen. So they said, you know, we will give you knowledge and wisdom to teach people how to do business from a place of connection, love, service for people. You need to bring human element to business, right? Because people need that. And love for your client will be the key to their transformation. So I was like, what is happening? You know, I never used to channel. I used to help people, my clients, connect to their soul. And we used to use coaching actually to help them connect. Amy, yes, massive materialism in the world. Karen, yes, definitely. Thank you, guys. Yes, you know, and I was aware of that. But because I was pigeonholed myself to that time, I was helping spiritual workers, you know, create 6-figure businesses. I was in my bubble. I was like, I'm happy in my bubble. But then they obviously wanted me to go more mainstream, hence what I'm doing now. And so they've given me, so in the space of 3 months, my dad was discharged from hospital. He started living with me. I became his full-time carer because he was not independent at the beginning. So for the first 3 months, I was a full-time carer for my dad, and I received all this beautiful wisdom from 5D consciousness about how the business should really work. And 5D consciousness really teaches us how to create amazing impact from a place of love, ease, and flow by creating success how you were designed to make success, right? So I've received tons and tons of wisdom from 5D consciousness. Abundance consciousness came to help me connect my clients to frequency of abundance so that money can come with so much ease and flow. Again, been there, done that, Anna, yes. and then a few months later, Pleiadians came through to teach me how to manifest things with speed as well. So through that journey, I also became a healer. So they've given me a healing modality as well to help people really truly let go of the internal blocks and trauma and all the blocks that stop you from success. So yeah, it was crazy time for me when I really connected to that wisdom. I started bringing it into the business, and that's when I realized that, sometimes the universe really knows the best way forward for you, and it chose the best time for me. If I had to step away from my business before we got this house, I would probably never get this house because I would be too scared, because I'm very risk averse. I'm not very risky person at all. And it gave me space to do this when my dad was ill, when I had to be at home, and I had to do a lot of healing with my dad as well. So yeah, it was beautiful time when actually it was a very difficult time, but in a way something beautiful came out of it. And that's when I started realizing that I can all bring it together. And I've always been against consumerism and the system and the conditioning, but now I have even more knowledge to support it with a completely different dimension, which is absolutely crazy. So that's why my approach is revolutionary, because I am really against the society, the conditioning, because everything we know, all the limitations we've got is not actually who we truly are. It's been adopted from the society, from our caregivers, and so I go against that. I really go against the traditional way of marketing, because again, marketing, when you use 3D marketing, it is rooted in fear, and fear is the biggest block to your success. So we have to let go of that and create a business from a completely different space. But I still teach social media, because social media still is a beautiful platform to connect with people and to create global reach. We want to create global business where we reach people all around the world, and social media is the best way. But the way we move through social media as well, again, it's different. And I'll be sharing with you all this knowledge I've got anyway, so don't worry. So let's get started. So how many people are excited of, do you want to learn more about this approach? And, I'm mixing a lot of things in this approach. I do mix psychology, not a lot of psychology, but there's, we do talk about how human mind works, and, and we utilize this knowledge to help us in business. My approach is very, very holistic. So we use psychology, business, marketing, business strategy, but I also obviously combine it with spiritual practices, channeling, the wisdom from 5D consciousness, abundance consciousness, and Pleiadians, and embodiment, alignment work, aligning your energy with what you want to desire, with what you want to manifest, so you can manifest things really, really quickly. Amy, I'm loving your energy. Cool. Okay, so first things first. The key to your success, right? And I mentioned this already, but really the key to your success lies within you. You really need to figure out and connect to who you truly are. And I keep pointing to our heart. But before I even go there, I want to ask you a question. How many of you think that your mind is who you truly are? Please tell me in comments below. Do you think who we truly are is in our mind? Your mind is who you truly are. Is that false or is that correct? What do you think? Lucy, looking forward to a new way. Karen, woohoo! Definitely really excited to be able to move forward. Yes. Super excited to learn. And when I work with my clients, not only they connect to their own guidance, but I also channel for them. and everybody's way to do business is different depending on their alignment, right? But the guidance will never tell you how to do business that is completely off-putting or icky. It always gives you guidance that is so aligned and authentic to you. It's so beautiful. Karen, no. Alexandra, no. Prem, no. I think the mind is strong, and then we realize, yes, the mind is very strong, and that's the problem. That is the whole problem here. Good, guys. Amy, I like to think it is, but no, I'm still not in my mind. Exactly. So I remember this one experiment. People were saying, when you meditate, you observe your thoughts. Oh, you see what's going on, but you are the one observing. So you are definitely not your mind. Okay. And so it's very good that you guys know that we are not our mind, because our mind, the role of our mind is to keep us safe and to survive. Okay. So our mind is full of conditioning from our society, from our caregivers, of who we meant to be, who we're supposed to be. Our belief system come from them, and it's all about survival. If we didn't have our mind, we wouldn't be able to survive. We learn from our caregivers how to operate in today's world, right? But unfortunately, the societal rules and conditioning is very, very limiting, and our mind is very, very limited. That's where all our fears are, doubts are, limiting beliefs, all are in our mind. So our mind is extremely, extremely limited. So if you create business from your mind, when you're just thinking logically, rationally, the typical masculine way of doing business, do. The more you work, the harder you work, the more money you make. If you follow that narrative, you will create some level of success for sure, but it'll be very, very limited, right? It'll be very, very limited. You are so much more than your mind, okay? I call it your heart, I call it your soul. Okay, but it's always down to your belief system. But I want you to know one thing: you are so much more than your mind. And some of your soul is here, right? You have access to it, but there's so much more of your consciousness out there. So if you are able to connect to who you truly are, you will be able to get guidance and connect to your intuition from a limitless place, okay? And that's when you connect to this, that's when you can create success, not only bigger success with bigger impact, but also with so much more ease and flow. Oh my God, I've only just realized that my plant is dying. Oh my God. Anyway, sorry, I got so distracted. So I want you to know as well that right now what's happening in the world is that we've been sold a lie by society, right? You need to educate yourself. You go to school, you go to college, you go to university, you're going to get a job, you're going to climb up the ladder, then you're going to retire and you're going to die. How amazing is this, right? That's the key to your success, to your happiness. But how many people right now in our society have done that? How many people have ticked all those boxes and they're so miserable in roles, in positions they absolutely hate, building lives they absolutely hate, just because they want to please their parents, and they completely disconnected from who they truly are. And it's a pandemic of people with mental ill health, physical health. That's because we are getting more and more disconnected from who we truly are. When you connect to who you truly are, you don't experience those things, because everything is created in your own mind. So if you don't connect to your mind, you don't feel the fear, you don't feel the doubts, the lack of confidence, the money blocks, whatever. When you connect to your heart, you connect to your power, to what's possible, to limitless opportunities, okay? So the reason why a lot of people cannot connect to their purpose or who they truly are, because they look in the wrong place. They try to understand it with their mind. So they ask questions, they ask logical questions like, but what do I want? And it's like, well, I don't know, right? And a lot of people go with goals that are ego-driven. Again, something created from the mind. So now in an online world, everybody wants to be 6-figure earners. Everybody wants to be 7-figure earners. And that's okay. If that's in your alignment, that's absolutely fine. But for most people, they don't know why they want this money. Okay? So if you're going after a goal that's ego driven and it's created from your mind, it'll be very difficult for you to achieve that. Okay? So that's why you need to connect to your soul aligned vision and soul aligned goal. Because once you connect to that, you probably realize that your goal is actually so much bigger than what you first thought, because you will create so much, like, you connected to limitless potential, possibilities. But, sorry. But it will also be created from a place of, this is who I am. This is what I really truly desire. If your desire is not there, then you're not going to achieve your goal. Does that make sense? Lucy, it's the hard working with the mind, exactly, because a lot of people think it's the mind that controls everything, right? But it's been proven, scientifically proven, that it's the heart that sends signals to the mind as well. So, Anna, amazing. Okay, so first, what I want to do right now is I want to help you connect to who you truly are, not to your mind, because that's easy. That's what we've been conditioned to do. It's easy to connect to our mind, but we want to drop deeper. So I want to take you through a little meditation to help you connect to yourself, to your soul aligned vision, to what you truly desire. So please don't do this if you're driving, or it's best to do this when you're not distracted. So it's going to be quick. If you don't connect to anything, don't worry. That just means you have lots of blocks in your way that we need to work through first to connect. Because remember, our conditioning is blocking our alignment and connection to our true self. Okay, so we first typically need to heal our conditioning. So this is what happened in the last year of my business when I had spiritual awakening. I said, I want to go bigger. Take me to my purpose. And they were like, fine, cool, let's go, And I didn't realize that I had so many blocks, and I had to let go of my 6-figure identity, of my old business, everything I've created for the last 5 years, 6 years, I had to let go completely, right? So every time you want to connect to your soul aligned vision or your next version of yourself, you always have to deprogram yourself. Like, you need to let go of the conditioning, because that creates a massive block, and you will not be able to pass through that to create success with ease and flow. So don't worry if you cannot connect. That just means you need to do a little bit more work on your blocks. But if you connect, do let me know what you see. I've always have some people who connect and they can see really clear visions. So let me get some music on. Hopefully you can hear the music. Hopefully you can hear it, okay? If not, you don't really need the music for it. But so I want you now to close your eyes. Okay, let's do this together. We're going to close our eyes together and take 3 deep breaths. Take your breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. So take 3 deep breaths. Place your hands on your heart. Feel your heart beat. And let's go. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Keep your eyes closed. Now I want you to follow your natural way of breathing. I want you to know you're in a safe place. The more you breathe, the more you connect to yourself. The more you breathe, you go deeper and deeper into relaxation. We are setting intention to connect to who you truly are. We're setting intention for you to see your soul aligned vision, what you're truly meant for. We're asking your guides to step forward. We're asking my guides to aid this as well. We're asking 5D consciousness and abundance consciousness and Pleiadians to help us in this process. Remember, you're safe, you're protected. This is your time to truly connect to what matters to you, who you truly are beneath all the conditioning. Keep breathing. The more you breathe, the more connected you are. You go deeper and deeper and deeper. You go deeper and deeper and deeper. You go deeper and deeper. Now I want you to ask your soul to show you who you truly are. I want your soul to give you guidance and to take you to a place where you can see who you truly are and what your soul-aligned vision is. Let your soul take you by your hand to show you. Keep breathing. Feel connected to your heart. See the bright light coming out of your heart, out of your chest. And you're feeling really, really connected to your heart. Beautiful golden energy surrounds you, surrounds your heart. And it's beaming out. Let your soul guide you to show you what your soul-aligned vision is. You can see it clearly now. What can you see? You're connecting more and more with your soul-aligned vision. It's becoming clearer and clearer. What do you do? What can you see around you? Do you hear anything? Can you feel anything? What can you feel? Let the soul show you the impact you are here to create. The people you meant to help. How do you feel? Connect to those emotions, connect to those feelings. Embody who you are right now, fulfilling your soul-aligned vision. You are doing it right now. Ask yourself, who am I? Embrace it, embody it. This is who you truly are, and this is what you meant to create. We're going to spend a few more seconds in that vision so you can truly feel it. You can ask anything you want your soul to show you. If you have any specific questions, go and ask it now. Now we're going to go back to our body, but I want you to know you can always return to this place. Take a few deep breaths. Connect back to your body. Feel your body. Come back to the room. And open your eyes. So, tell me what, did you see anything? Did you feel anything? Tell me anything you have experienced. I would love to hear more. So put in comments below what you've experienced. And if you didn't experience anything, as I say, that's absolutely fine. The more you do this work, the easier the connection will be, okay? So I've had clients who didn't see anything, who couldn't feel anything, like nothing happened to them, right? They couldn't get relaxed, like nothing worked. And then as we started working through their blocks and we started connecting them more to their heart and disconnecting them from their mind, they started getting more and more connection to the point where they could just close their eyes, and not even closing their eyes, they could just ask questions and they would get intuitive guidance straight away. The reason why many people struggle with this is because we are so connected to our mind, right? Because that's what we've always been conditioned to do. Nope, not yet. Alexandra, that's fine. Amy, warm colors. Okay. So typically, when I do this with clients, we're doing it one-to-one, right? So when it comes to warm colors, you can ask the colors, what does it represent? What are you trying to show me? What are you trying to tell me? Because the colors represent something important. Karen, unable to do this right now, we'll do it on replay, that's fine. Trust, keep trusting. Oh, that's beautiful, Amy. That is, beautiful. I saw forest and the sea. I also saw symbols. Okay, so when you have more time to do this, I would really encourage you to go with the flow of whatever comes through, because obviously something is trying to like your soul is trying to communicate with you. So when you see forest and the sea, go there, right? Go there and explore more. What's behind the trees? Like why am I in the forest? Ask those questions, and you'll be able to get more and more information. And symbols, what were the symbols about? What do they represent? How did it make you feel? Lucy, huge green diamond between myself and my soul, wings of light from wings showing and lighting the way for neurodiversity in young people, pathways of recognition. That is amazing. That is amazing. So, I'm so excited. So, now I want to give you some tips for how you can create more and more connection. Okay, so for those of you who struggled or you want to be more connected to who you truly are, the first thing is just by understanding that you are not your mind. That's already big, right? Also by understanding who you are not. So if you already found yourself in a position that you've created the life that you don't really enjoy, know that that's not who you are. So you already by knowing who you are not and what you don't want will also help you understand who you are and what you want. Ask questions. What do I want? Right? We're not used to asking ourselves questions. What do I want? Right? It's about what do other people want? We always think and care about other people rather than ourselves. So start asking yourself questions. What do I truly want? Even better question, what does my soul want right now? Okay, what are your values? That's massive. That will help you as well. What would you like your life to look like? Your ideal life to look like? Start going with what feels right. Not what it should look like. What would impress my parents or my partner or my kids? Because especially when you become a parent, it's always about children. What do they want? It's all about them and their happiness. But it's about us. We need to become the best parent. And the best parent, how do we become the best parent? Happy parent, right? So really start thinking about what is my desired lifestyle? What do I truly desire? Okay? Connecting to your heart. So today's meditation will help you with that. So connecting to your heart, feeling the beautiful light energy. Healing the conditioning, that's massive because that is the main block that's blocking you. Spending time alone, right? Enjoying present moment as well. So, we people typically live in the past or in the future. It's time to bring focus to the present moment, and gratitude is massive, but also spend alone time. We sometimes don't have enough time being by ourselves, and we don't even have time to connect to ourselves. So give yourself time to do this on a regular basis. Quieting your mind. So meditations are good, but typical meditations might not be for you, but you can go for a walk in nature. Just try your best to quiet your mind. Following joy. Remember that our emotions are the best guidance system, okay? When you feel emotions that feel good, that is typically our intuition is telling us, go that way, you're on the right path, go, 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 go. But when we feel anxiety, emotions that bring, that do not feel so good, typically they show us don't go that route. It's not good. Okay, we then need to obviously be mindful of mind, because the mind, whenever you try to get out of your comfort zone, remember our mind is all about survival. Everything that's outside of our comfort zone, our mind sees it as literally life-threatening. So every time you want to step out of a comfort zone, you want to evolve, you want to grow, you want to start something new like a business, it will throw you all the fears and limitations and, limiting beliefs, doubts, everything to keep you safe. So you need to be able to identify, is this my mind telling me things like fears? Or is it my intuition telling me don't go this way, right? But remember, emotions are important. There's no such thing as bad negative emotions. Every emotion is a message to you. So start understanding, what is my body? What is my physical? What are my emotions trying to tell me, basically? Following joy. Always follow joy. And labels. Sometimes because we are mothers, we partners, we have those labels that attach expectations and what we shouldn't do, what we should like, what we shouldn't like. Try to go beyond your labels. What if you are not a mother, you're not a partner, you're not a son, daughter, who are you underneath all this? Okay, so now we're getting into proper training. So I'm sorry, it's taking me a long time. And a very powerful guided meditation. I got repeated visions of the sun and the green field. I was able to pick sun rays flowing around me. I couldn't hear much, but I felt strongly the sense of serenity surrounding me. Not only is a feeling, but also is a concept. So this must have something to do with how I need to change my business structure in order to align with my soul, maybe. That's right. Thank you for that. It was a rare experience. Amazing. I'm so happy. You managed to connect to something. When I work with my clients, we do this one-to-one, so we're able to, go deeper into, okay, so let's go into this vision more. What does it say? And I actually use coaching questions to get more and more information from it. But you're doing amazing. Okay, so first of all, I want to teach you that everything is energy. So now I'm going to go into the proper teachings of 95% that's responsible for your success, okay? Everything I'm going to teach you, I know sometimes it might feel or sound woo-woo, but it's good because we've done the meditation already. So it's all good. But some people see as woo-woo, and that's what I always used to be like, oh, spirituality, I'm very scientifically minded. But I want you to know that everything I'm teaching you, it's all energy work, and energy exists. It's real, and it's backed by science. It's all quantum physics, okay? So I want you to know that everything is made out of energy. So from physics that, atoms vibrate, they move, right? They vibrate. They're not static, they vibrate. And when you vibrate, you get energy, and the energy vibrates. It can vibrate. It's either high vibrational frequency or low vibrational frequency, or anything in between. Okay, so that's very, very important to know. So that physical objects like a table is made out of energy, but also our thoughts emanate energy. Our feelings, emotions emanate energy. Our actions emanate energy as well. Why is this so important? It's so important because quantum physics says that like attracts like, okay? So when you're having thoughts, let's say you want to start a business, but you feel that you're not good enough, or you have fear of failing, right? If you have thoughts that are of low vibrational frequency, so typically negative thoughts, are on low vibrational frequency. So if your thoughts constantly are negative, you will attract things of low vibrational frequency, because like attracts like. So if you feel, oh my god, I'm gonna fail, guess what? You will fail. You are attracting that, right? Or if you worry, oh, I'm never gonna attract clients, it's so difficult to attract clients, guess what? That's exactly what you're attracting. And the worst thing is as well is that our conscious mind is only 5%. Our unconscious mind is 95%. So things that you're not even aware of have massive impact on what you are manifesting. That's why it's so important to do deep healing work on conscious, unconscious, and energetic level in order to heal you deeply, so that nothing can hold you back. Does that make sense? So now I want to show you a pyramid. Oh, let me turn off this music. I'm in my... I want to show you a pyramid. So bear with me. Display picture. Okay. So can you tell me if you can see this pyramid? So if you can see this pyramid, this basically shows you how to use your emotional guidance system for greater alignment with your highest good. The highest alignment, the quicker you can attract your desired reality. Okay? So you can see right at the bottom of that, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but at the bottom of the pyramid is fear, grief, depression, despair, powerlessness. So if you're operating from that level, it'll be very difficult. It's right at the bottom of the pyramid. You will not be able to attract things that you desire, because things that you desire are of high vibrational frequency. So if you're currently here and your goals are here, then there's absolutely no way you can attract it. That's why so many people struggle, because they have this thought, I'm not going to be able to attract clients, then they don't attract clients, and that confirms their belief system that can't attract clients. So it's a vicious circle. We need to break that circle. Okay, so what you need to do, and this pyramid shows you that sometimes it's very difficult to go from fear all the way to joy, right? There's so many emotions that you would have to jump over. It's very difficult. But what you can do is go slowly, step by step through the pyramid. So fear, then you can think, okay, how can I feel insecure? Then you can say, okay, how can I feel jealous? How can I feel rage, right? And you can slowly start going into it, going up and up and up. But when we connect to our purpose, you can see it's right at the top of the pyramid, passion, right? It's passion. Passion is different to purpose. Purpose, it's even more impactful, deeper. It's even more on a higher vibrational frequency. So that's why connecting to your purpose and who you truly are is so important, because it can shift you so quickly. It can shift you into higher vibrational state straight away. That's why I think I managed to go from depression all the way to joy when I connected to my purpose, because everything just shifted. My whole energy shifted. Okay? So, does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. Okay? So now I'm going to teach you how you can get into energetic alignment. One thing you must remember, that's the first thing, is in order to attract my desires, not only you first need to understand what they are from a soul level, you need to understand what is my soul aligned vision, what is my soul aligned goal here, right? And tomorrow we're connecting more to your purpose, so you will get more understanding of that. Amy, yes, absolutely, amazing. So, tomorrow, remember, every day we'll be getting closer and closer to creating your business. So tomorrow we'll be talking more about purpose, right? We'll be connecting you more to your purpose. So it might become easier. But you need to understand, that's one thing I really want you to remember, is that your energetic alignment is the key to your success. And if you don't see results in your business, that's because you're not in energetic alignment. And then we need to unpack and figure out why. Is it that you're not connected to your purpose? Is it that the offer you've created is out of alignment with you, or something's missing? Is it that the way you're marketing the product is out of alignment? Is it that you have some blocks? Like, what is going on, right? But if you are not seeing results in your business, that is down to your alignment, okay? So your whole purpose is always to get into energetic alignment with your goals. And the first thing is know what your goal is. It's not ego-driven goal from your mind. It's at soul level, what is your goal? Because your goal at soul level is so much more limitless. It's bigger than what you can ever think of, okay? Alexandra, yes, it does make total sense. Amazing. So how can we get into energetic alignment? Okay, first of all, your thoughts. Remember, your thoughts emanate energy, and you also trigger our emotions. It is the emotions that will then attract our reality, but it starts from thoughts. When you have a negative thought, oh my God, I can't attract clients, that will create fear, anxiety, right? So you need to start identifying your thoughts, your patterns, your beliefs. And again, we can only identify 5% of them, what's conscious. Most of it is unconscious, okay? Don't even get me started about past lives and karma and stuff like that. Now we need to work on that too, but we're not going to cover that in this 4-day course. It's way too much. But, right, so when you think about, okay, what do I want to, so when you connect to your soul aligned vision, and you know, okay, I want to create a beautiful business that is soul aligned, purpose led. I want to create financial freedom and this beautiful lifestyle. What are my thoughts about this? You know, what thoughts does it trigger? Does it trigger, yes, you can absolutely do it, go for it? Or is it like, who am I to think that? You know, am I educated enough? Am I smart enough? Am I old enough? Am I young enough? You know, what thoughts, what beliefs show up when you think about what you want to create? And that's what we need to start shifting, okay? So when you think about you becoming the version of yourself that you're meant for, what are her thought patterns, right? She's already achieved that. She's already achieved everything you've ever wanted. Or he, sorry, if we have men, sorry. Right? So really embody, step into the version of yourself, and you've already achieved everything you've ever wanted. What are her beliefs? What are her thoughts? She will not doubt herself. She's already done it. Her beliefs would be, oh, can I make it? It would be like, yes, I can make it. What's next? You know? So I want you to really start paying attention to your thoughts, and I want you to start shifting your thoughts. Okay? So really start thinking about, and raise your standards as well, right? I really want you to start embodying the next version of yourself. That's so important. Anna, yes, good. So really think about, what do I need to do to shift? You know, if right now I'm thinking I can't attract clients, but my version of myself already has attracted thousands and thousands of people, what do I need to do to start shifting my thought process? You know, what do I need to do to start believing that I can do it? So obviously with my clients, we go through healing. So we go through the root cause of your thoughts, your belief system, your feelings, right? So then it's a bit easier. But what can you do right now to shift? The second step is, so first focus on your thoughts and your belief systems. Then we drop into our emotions, okay? So again, here it's all about feelings. How are you currently feeling, you know, like right now? How are you feeling right now when you think about your vision? And how do you feel when you've already achieved that vision? You know, do you currently feel fear, insecure, lack of confidence? How is she feeling? How is she feeling when she's already achieved your goal, right? And the best way for me to embody my next version of myself is to visualize it and to step into that version and to do it as often as I can throughout the day. I've got a vision board, I've got my music that gets me going, and I really connect deeply to my next level self, my next version of myself, my next vision. Okay, so the more detailed, the more specific your vision is, the more detailed it is, the better it is, the easier it will be for you to connect. So really start thinking about, okay, when I've achieved this goal, this is how she's feeling. She feels unstoppable. She feels so fulfilled. She feels so happy. She feels joy. She feels limitless, right? How am I feeling right now? How can I start feeling limitless? and start giving yourself those goals like, okay, how can I feel a little bit more successful today? How can I feel more limitless today? How can I feel more like a 6-figure earner, let's say, right? And start incorporating this in your day-to-day life, right? The third step to help you get into alignment is healing, and that's something you cannot bypass. I remember when I started my business, I was all about positive psychology, vision boards. I still do vision boards, okay, but I use them differently now. But it was all about positive thinking. Oh, I'm feeling negative emotions. Oh, let me think positive, And I was so good at shifting my energy so much that I was able to attract things very, very quickly. But I was bypassing the blocks. I was bypassing really my feelings and emotions that had to be healed. And as a result, you can never silence your blocks. They'll get bigger and louder and louder and louder until they will like create proper roadblock, okay, for you. So what I've realized throughout this all 7 years is that you really need to heal properly. Whenever you feel certain emotion in your, it could be to do with your business, it could be to do with life. When I was doing my business, but my dad got ill, I had to heal a lot of things that was like, that caused that trauma with my dad being, having heart attack, and then, the childhood wounds started showing up. But so please remember that just because you're creating business, you can not only just heal business related blocks, because any blocks in your life can create a block to your success, because you are an emotional being, right? You are the one creating success for your business. So you need to be healing whatever is happening in your life, whether that's personal life or professional, like business related stuff. Okay. So healing is very, very important, because as I said, only 5% is conscious. So we know only 5% of our thoughts and belief system. Unconscious mind is 95, and it's responsible for basically leading our lives. And energetic blocks are massive as well. Past lives carry a lot of stuff with it as well. So when I do this work with my clients, we do work holistically: conscious mind, unconscious mind, and energetic blocks, and past lives karma. Because a lot of the things that actually block us is from our past lives that we haven't dealt with. So I take you to the root cause of the problem, but that's not where we end, right? That's not when it finishes. That's only the beginning of your healing. What we do after, not only we heal the root cause of that block and the relationships that, impacted us and the block, but we go further back to the before you chose that past life or your current life. What was your soul lesson? What was the main soul lesson for that lifetime? And then we heal that to make sure that you actually complete that soul lesson. And within that, there's lots of healing that needs to happen. And then we rewrite your past. We literally rewrite energetically your past. So your past changes energetically, which means if your past changes energetically, because we permanently remove your block. So if that block doesn't happen, your life would have looked differently, right? So if we change energetically your life or your past, your future instantly changes. Okay, does that make sense? So that's why healing is so important. There's no bypassing. People come to me because they want to create successful businesses. They want strategy, right? But they don't realize that strategy work is so easy. Implementing things into your business is so easy. But the most difficult part in this is the internal transformation, right? The healing, the embodiment, the identity shift, becoming who you're meant to become. Because when you become who you're meant to become, then you'll create the results you want just like that. But it's the internal work that's responsible for 95% of your success. And this is so important. And it's hard. It's hard to go back into the trauma. It's hard to dig those negative emotions so you can heal them, right? But when you do it in a controlled healing environment, it's not as bad as when you're doing it alone, okay? How are you guys feeling? Are you still here? Have you fallen asleep? Hope not. So, and the fourth step into getting into your energetic alignment is, of course, creating soul-aligned action. And this is where a lot of people fall short. They do all the like meditations and feeling positive and da-da-da. And then when it comes to taking action, they're like, oh, but I don't know what to do, right? And that's okay. We don't know how to create our business. We have no idea what we're doing. Like, that's okay, but that needs to change. When I say soul-aligned action, it's very different to taking any action, okay? When you become in tune with who you truly are, when you know your soul-aligned vision, when you know exactly what your purpose is, when you know where you're going, where you're heading, you shift. When you start healing, you start shifting. You become the person who you're meant to become, right? And then, because you're so connected to yourself, you start getting guidance, intuition as to what are the physical steps that you need to be taking in your business that are aligned to you, that will not only guarantee your success, but it will come with so much ease and flow, with least resistance. Your guides will always give you the best way to create success. So that's why I'm not a fan of, approaches or strategies that one size fits all. That's wrong, because everybody is different. Everybody's business strategy will look different. Everybody's route to success is different. It all is down to your alignment, your guidance. So yes, on day 4, I'll be teaching you a proven business strategy, but then I'll be teaching you how to align it to you so that it works for you. A strategy that made someone millions and millions, if you copy them and do exactly, if you could have copied even the content word for word and replicate it, it will not happen for you. Why? Because energetically you are disconnected from it. I've had people who've copied my programs. I've had people who've copied my content, right? Word for word, right? And I'm like, go for it, right? It's not going to do any impact for you because you're not energetically aligned with it, right? I know I am because I love it. I've created it, right? So creating soul-aligned action is, you need to take action to make things happen. But remember, make sure that it's from a right place. It's not from a place of fear and ego. Don't, for example, one example I can think of is in business, don't sit there and think, oh my God, I have to pay the bills today. Let me create content. I need to attract clients right away. So let me work. You can be working 10 hours a day and get 0 results because your energy is completely off. You're working from a place of fear instead of trust, surrendering, love and service for your clients from a place of purpose. You need to create a business from a place of purpose, not from desperation. That's why it's important to heal those blocks, right? Because people can feel your energy. I had one client and it was so strong in her case. That's why I want to share it. She was a beautiful soul. She had a beautiful healing business, but she was so angry. She was so disappointed in her business that she was working this business for 3 years and she was getting 0 results, no clients, nothing. She was so angry. And her content, she sent me a content that strategically looked perfect because she worked with lots of different business strategies. And I was like, you know what, strategically this is perfect. This should make you money. But guess what? Are you feeling angry? She's like, yeah, I'm fucking angry. Like, I'm going to quit this business. I'm going to fucking quit it. And I'm like, this is the problem. Because when I read your content, I felt scared. I felt like you were gonna, if I messaged you, you were gonna slap my face, right? Like there's so much anger. And she said, oh, really? I said, yes. So we needed to heal that, right? We needed to heal all the disappointment and all the expectations she had for her business. Like it was deep, right? So you need to understand that your content carries energy. And the energy is either, I want to help you, I love it, I'm in a high vibration frequency, I'm like, please work with me because I have bills to pay, right? We don't want that energy. People can feel energy, okay? So that's why this is so important. And another thing I want to talk to you about, when it comes to aligned action, it's not only about, when you're creating business, it's not only about alignment, it's not always about feeling joyful, okay, and amazing and high vibrational frequency emotions, right? Sometimes alignment can look very different, okay? So you need to prioritize yourself. Being in alignment means following what your soul needs. So for example, when my second spiritual awakening hit me, my alignment wasn't feeling joyful and like, yeah, I still feel amazing. No, I felt bloody horrible, right? But at that time, my alignment was to rest. When I had my second baby, my first baby, rest. That's why I made so much money. And my husband always say, she makes money in her sleep. Why? Because that was my alignment. My alignment was to rest. And when I rested, then I felt amazing. And that's when I made money, right? So when I was going through spiritual awakening number 2, my body felt so heavy. And I only now know that my body was preparing for something, right? I had to rest. My body had to rest so I could raise my vibrations in my body so I could activate my spiritual gifts, right? So sometimes alignment just means resting, taking a step back, right? People are terrified because we are made to believe that when you rest, you're not going to make progress, right? Because you have to work hard to achieve your goals. No, you need to be in alignment. If that means resting, rest. When we are rest, we're in a receptive mode. We receive more, okay? So rest. Always ask yourself, what does my soul need right now? I always ask myself, what do I need right now? What does my soul need right now? Healing, right? When you go through healing, that's time as well to rest, to process everything. So, give yourself space, time, love, okay? Remember, you are here to create a product or service that is a masterpiece. It's revolutionary to humanity. You will be changing lives of other people, right? Give yourself grace. Give yourself love and nourishment you truly need, right? Because if you're not working from your ultimate level, you're not going to be able to create a beautiful business. So you need to prioritize yourself, love yourself. Understand that we go through inner seasons. Again, our society tells us, Lucy, loving it, good. Society tells us you need to work, and work a little bit more. You need to be productive all the time. Wow, that is so wrong. How can you be productive all the time? When will you rest? When will you recharge? We all have inner seasons, and you need to work within your inner seasons. So there'll be time in your business, like me right now, when you feel on fire, when you want to launch something, when you're about to attract clients, and you're just like, oh my God, I want the whole world to know what I'm doing, and I love it, I'm going to share it, and I want to help people, and I've got lots of energy, right? And that's the time when you need to launch, when you need to attract clients, when it feels good. But there will be times in your business when you just want to slow down. You just want to recharge, right? I normally take about 3 months off in my business, roughly, right? Like on average, because I need to recharge. I can only work 3 hours a day. If I work more than 3 hours a day, I feel it. I feel tired. I feel grumpy. I feel miserable, right? So you need to find your own way. You need to find your sweet spot of how you're working. But please know that even when you go through a season of resting and stepping back from your business in a way, not energetically, but just to take rest, just to rest, know that that's fast forwarding your success. You're not moving back, right? Typically, when I was going through second spiritual awakening and I had to rest a lot, see what happened? Spiritual gifts started happening, right? It made my services so much better, right? So remember that when your body needs to rest, there's a reason for it. And sometimes there's healing that needs to happen. Sometimes you need to integrate some wisdom, some knowledge. There's a reason for it. And again, when we're resting, we're in a receptive mode. And that's why it's important to have a business strategy that still happens even when you are not physically present in your business. So I'll be teaching you about passive income on day 4 of this course, because it's amazing. You can attract clients on autopilot, and that gives me time to truly follow my alignment. If I don't feel like working today, I'm not going to work like that day, unless obviously I have clients, or like my clients come first always. But you know, when I want to take 3 months off, I'm going to do that. So another thing, trust and surrendering. Trusting, somebody said here about trust, I think Amy, that was you. It's so important. There's time in our business, in our life, just to trust and surrender. That's when beautiful things happen. We need to know that that's a normal way of creating massive success. It's not work, work, work. It's doing these things, okay? Flow with life. Just flow with life. Remember, your purpose is to create joy, to feel happy every single day. Just flow with life. We try to control everything. Oh, I haven't manifested my clients yet. Well, just go with the flow. You're not in alignment yet. Get into alignment. You know, how can you enjoy this process more? It's not about struggle and hassle and stress and creating business you absolutely hate. It's about enjoying every single moment as you're doing it, right? Your purpose in life is to feel joy and to be happy. Make sure your business gives you that, okay? And then how do you hold yourself through hardship? Because life will happen, right? I didn't think that would happen to me, but it did happen to me as well, right? Everybody, life is just life. Life will happen. How can you make sure that life events, traumatic life events, will not make your business like drop, and so that you completely cannot recover, right? For me, when things were really hard last year with my family, with my dad, with me not knowing what I was going, when, financially, I was like, oh, what's going on? I was like, this is all good. I had tools, right? I was healing myself. I know how to heal myself. I knew that this is just a process. I knew, spiritually speaking, what the lessons I had to be learning. Like, I've gone through spiritual awakening once. I can do this once again, right? I knew. But I trusted, I surrendered, I held myself, I didn't crumble. I had bad days, I had days when I would just cry in desperation, thinking, how could this happen to me? Like my mind, right? My mind was talking to me. But then I remembered, I was like, I'm learning so much through this. Give myself grace, give myself love and nourishment. And I was like really, really mothering myself. So how can you go through the difficult times, loving yourself, helping yourself, but also showing up for other people? Because you can do that. You can go through traumatic, difficult moments and still hold space for your clients and show up as the best leader, because you are the best leader, right? There's duality in life and you can do it both, right? But you need tools to help you with that. And never resist. Whatever has to come through you has to come through you. When you have to go through death to go through the rebirth, don't resist. There's lots of people who just resist change, they're scared. You have to go through it, okay? Yeah, Alexandra, feel it to heal it. Karen, this is so hitting the spot. Yes. So that's why I know my approach is so different, because I teach you all this, how to create success from this sort of place, from a place of what happens if life happens, how can I still lead myself? A business strategy will help you massively, because as I say, if you have passive income streams, or if you, for a whole year, my business was running on autopilot when I became a mom to 2 children instead of 1, right? Like, it hit me, like I felt like a bus hit me when my second child was born, right? But so have strategy that helps you heal and be yourself and live the life to the fullest, Sorry. 1 second. Yes. So remember, to summarize, how to get into alignment: your thoughts, your belief system, work on that, emotions, feelings, then third is healing, and then soul aligned action. Do you guys have, before we close for today, have you got any questions? Have you got any questions for me? Put them in comments below, because I know there's delay. And as you put in your questions, let me tell you about your homework. Okay, your homework is to connect to yourself. Okay, so I've given you a list of things that will help you connect to yourself. I want you to pick one or two things that feel really, really aligned with you, or you can do the meditation again. And I want you to start connecting to yourself. You can simply ask yourself, what does my soul desire? Or you can even go deeper and you can start identifying, like, okay, what does my mind want? Because sometimes that actually helps. You know, my mind wants this, because you have this mind chatter, right? What do I really want? Or I want a bigger house, or I want to be a millionaire, whatever, right? But it's like, why do you want it, right? So sometimes getting thoughts out on the paper, okay, this is what my mind wants, just get it out of the way. And then, okay, now I know what my mind wants, what does my soul want, right? I want you to start connecting with it more and more. And even, you know, think, is there like a ritual I can do every single day so I have time to connect to myself before I go to bed, or first thing in the morning, or throughout the day? How can I truly connect to myself and really understand what I truly desire? Tomorrow we'll be connecting more to your purpose, so hopefully you'll be able to get really clarity on, this is my purpose, this is the impact I want to create, this is the people I want to serve. So with that, you'll be able to connect, you have clear vision that helps your connection. But just start. The more you connect, the easier, the more you connect to yourself, the easier it will be for you to connect to your purpose. Okay? So, any questions, my lovelies? I don't think I'm getting any comments now. Let me just refresh the page so I don't miss anything. Remember, even if you go away and think, oh my God, I had this question, I forgot to ask her, that's okay. Remember, I'm opening this group for free coaching, advice, and mentoring. So if you have specific questions about your specific business or your specific, personal thing that you need help with, just let me know, okay? Amy, huge heartfelt thanks for all you have shared. So valuable, lots of gratitude. Oh, thank you so much, guys. On that note, I want to say thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for being live here with me. Always, it's so nice to feel your energy, to do it together. And I'll be here tomorrow, same time, same place. So please do come and join. You can always get replays as well. So tomorrow's all about connecting to your purpose. Third day will be all about connecting to your zone of genius, and how we can turn it into a beautiful, irresistible offer. And fourth day is all about business strategy. Okay. Alexandra, no questions for now. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, guys. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Have fun with homework. Share your homework. The more you share, the more engaged you are, the more you can win the prize for the highest participant. But do it just for yourself, because trust me, the transformation is real when you do it. Thank you for today. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I'm sending you lots of love. Bye. Now I need to figure out how to stop this stream now. Hang on. Okay. Bye, guys.